What's up, guys? Back at it with another video. Today we're talking about Israel Adesanya, his return, March 28th against Joe Pyfer. Body bags Pyfer. Man, well, first of all, I got to say, man, Israel Adesanya needs a win. He has to win. I mean, he's dropped 3 so far in a row, and he's looking to get back in that win column. And one thing about the UFC, there really is no easy fights. I mean, you could say Israel Adesanya was one of the best middleweight champions ever, but these young dudes, these up and comers, these guys who have never ever tasted gold, they want nothing more than have the opportunity to knock off someone that was a former champion. What a confidence booster, right? What a confidence booster it is for someone like Joe Pyfer if he can go out there and beat Israel Adesanya, or somebody like Nasruddin Imavov if he can go out there and beat Israel Adesanya. It's a huge confidence booster. And if you're Israel Adesanya, he's looking to gain his confidence back. We all know, as fans, as people who love the sport, as spectators of the sport, how great Israel Adesanya was, how great his fights were. His title streak, beating Pereira, coming back and beating Pereira, being the first one to finish Pereira inside the UFC, finishing Paulo Costa, knocking out Robert Whittaker for the undisputed. The list goes on and on. Beating Anderson Silva in style. We've all seen Adesanya go and be great, but Adesanya, where it stands today, I believe, is looking to build his confidence back. He's definitely lost some of his confidence. I mean, how can you not? You lose one to Sean Strickland. You come back believing you're still that guy, being capable that you're still that guy, and then lose to Dricus du Plessis. And then I think when things really took a spin for the worse is when he came back and fought Nasruddin Imavov. And he ended up getting finished, guys, getting TKO'd. And just not the normal Izzy that we're used to seeing, right? We're used to seeing someone stylish, popping and moving, delivering the damage, and getting out of there and winning in spectacular fashion. But Joe Pyfer, stylistically, this fight favors Adesanya from a stylistic standpoint and experience standpoint. But where things stand right now, Joe Pyfer trending up, Adesanya at the tail end of his career, looking to gain his confidence back. Joe Pyfer has the upper hand here. And I think that if you're a UFC fan, you have to really, really factor in the fact that Joe Pyfer is up and coming, and Joe Pyfer is building his confidence, and Joe Pyfer is having belief in himself. He has a company behind him that they give him an opportunity to fight Israel Adesanya, not to boost Israel Adesanya. The UFC has made all the money they're ever going to make out of Israel Adesanya. You have to understand the business model of the sport. And they give him someone like Joe Pyfer for Joe Pyfer to go make a name off Israel Adesanya. Now, they make the fights. It's up to the fighters to go out there and win the fights, right? But they make the fights, and that is the goal of that fight, for Joe Pyfer to go beat Adesanya and get that name value on his record and then take that next step up. Israel Adesanya has to remind people what it is. Like he used to say, y'all must have forgot. Yeah, he's going to have to go out there and remind the UFC and remind everyone that was doubting him or that he wasn't the Izzy of the old, and go back and pull something out of Alex Volkanovski's book and remind him and the rest of the division of his greatness, and then go from there if he wants to stay and continue to compete. But that's the most important thing for Israel Adesanya. And this fight with Joe Pyfer will be very interesting. I think Joe Pyfer has some unique skills that he's going to bring to the table, and I think he's hungry. And I think you can't take away the fact that if you're hungry, you become very, very dangerous. And so it's going to be a great fight. Few weeks until that fight, about a month and a half. But I wanted to get on here and make that video and talk about Israel Adesanya because he's one of my favorite fighters, and I'm really looking forward to that fight. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know your thoughts and opinions. I will be posting another video tomorrow talking about more things, UFC and what's going on there. So stay tuned.